Ndewo. Ndewo is an Igbo Nigerian word that means long life to all of you. And that is what I hope and pray for each and every one of you. I'm Dr. Uwa Onyiohad Osimiri. I'm the president of the African Women Economic Consortium, AWEC. I'm also the newly appointed ambassador to the United States for tourism and women empowerment for the state of Abia. I'm very excited to welcome you to the Black Sustainability Summit for 2018. I have been a part of this for 3 years in a row, and it's something I find very exciting, and I just enjoy being a part of it because it's very informative, not just for what for information that I share, but also the information that I get to learn from all the participants. It's a program just so well worth doing and well worth participating in. I'm also a professor. I teach leadership at the University of Phoenix. I teach MBA courses in leadership, and I've done that for 16 years. And I'm also, as the president of AWEC, I've been the president since 2004. AWEC was founded in 2004, and I've been the president ever since. It has been a joy to be involved in a program that designed to help other people, to help women, to help children, and certainly to help members of our community. Recently, I had the opportunity to travel to Nigeria with one of our own, Dr. Nobantu Ankawanda, and my daughter, Kelena Osimiri, as well as my brother, Uwa Onyiohad. We went to Nigeria under the patronage of the African Women Economic Consortium, and also our signature program, the Nwalota Project. Nwalota is an acronym for Nigeria Welcomes Africans Living Outside the African Continent. It's a program that I find very exciting, and it was during this tour, brief tour in August, from August the 19th through the 31st, that Dr. Ankawanda was made a chief in the village of Ohoho. Ohoho is a part of Abia State, and Kelena was also made a chief. They were both the chiefs. Nwanne Dinobi, Nwanne Dunamba. That means our sisters who represent us outside of the continent. It was quite an experience. The chieftaincy titles were conferred by 11 kings of the communities, the Ohoho community, as well as the surrounding communities. So it was quite a spectacular thing, and also the community came out in droves to honor these two ladies, and so. That's one of the things that we want to do with the Nwalota Project. The acronym, Nigeria Welcomes Africans Living Outside the African Continent. The idea is to bring African Americans and diaspora Africans home. When all is said and done, it's going to take not just, you know what they say, two heads are better than one. Absolutely, two heads are better than one. We need the children of Africa that were taken away. We need them back home to contribute in however manner they can. But they can't do it just as guests. They have to become part of the community. And that is why I've always advocated that we give land to the diaspora Africans, because actually, in our tradition, you have to have land to be a part of the community. So the ancestors of these diaspora Africans never gave away their land. So when all is said and done, unless a man or woman gives up their land, it still belongs to them. So that means that these African Americans, diaspora Africans, that's still their land, and we've got to give it back to them so that they can use it and do whatever it is that they can do to provide employment, to improve the community. That's something that's certainly within the within their ability to do. And so that's what Walota is, to welcome the Africans in diaspora home, to reclaim what we lost. Now, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to live there if you don't want to, but certainly would appreciate it if you do. But, we want to stop the bleeding, stop the brain drain. And that also goes for the indigenous Africans who are leaving the African continent and going and living abroad. So we just kind of want to bring family home, and the diasporan Africans are part of our family. So that is why the Walota is. As a matter of fact, when I coined Walota, I didn't realize that it was going to translate to Walota, children come home. So it was quite a coincidence, actually. But hey, a very good one at that. So anyway, that's Walota. Now, Walota is an annual pilgrimage where in August, which is during the New Yam Festival, we have African American, the diasporan Africans come home, and it's a red carpet. It's a red carpet greeting, welcoming. So we're still adding to it, but the one thing that we've added to it, to even take it to a whole new level, is the Walota village. Walota village is the Igbo landing. This is where the guests come to first. It's still under construction. We're getting ready to construct the village. We've just been given 29 acres of land to build this village. And it's going to have everything. It's going to be we're calling it our own Wakanda. It's going to be everything anybody can dream of. We're putting everything into this village, and it's just a beautiful area. It has a stream running through it. It's just lush greenery, and we're going to start. We're hoping to start doing something there in December. Why is it an Igbo landing? That's the first place that our guests will come to. That is where they're going to lodge. Everything there is African themed. All the architectural designs are all African themed. We have programming that's African themed. We have a theater we'll have a theater that's going to showcase African historical information and also arts. We're going to have a museum of African and African American history, because a lot of Africans really don't know African American history, and many African Americans likewise. So we're going to have both the African and the African American history, so that the children can get a little bit more information about our brothers and sisters of our side of the continent. We're also going to showcase all of many, not all, but certainly many of African art. We're going to have artisans there that you are actually going to see them making their wares. We're also going to have some of the cultural things that held the community together. The wrestling matches, what do they mean? And one thing you take away from those wrestling matches is the fact that once somebody is defeated, that's it. We don't fight after we've lost. If you've lost, you've lost. And you have to have dignity for yourself and accept the loss, and still have camaraderie with the individual that may have defeated you. We want the children to see that. That was a part of our history. That was part of our culture. A lot of that is dying because we're neglecting them. So everything that has been neglected, we're bringing back into the Walota village. The masquerades. What are the significance of the masquerade? We're going to have the masquerade Mardi Gras, so to speak, the masquerade parade. We're going to have masquerades. All the different kinds of masquerades will be on display on parade once every month. Once every day. We're going to have a center for children to learn about the African culture through the arts and crafts and things of that nature. And, children learn a lot through play. So much of the play items there is going to have African theme, so that the kids will begin to embrace their African culture and African ingenuity. We're also going to have, and this is my favorite, we're going to have the botanical gardens. This is where we're going to grow African um, medicinal leaves that unfortunately has been neglected. We're looking for orthodox medicine to do the healing for us, but when we actually have our own healing leaves that have medicinal values, you have one that's called what you call ntramu. Ntramu, when you cook it, you put it in your food, and it helps with bringing down blood pressure. Then you have biarofono. Biarofono is like a traditional iodine. It stops the bleeding immediately. When you get a cut, it stops the bleeding immediately, and the healing starts immediately, practically. We're going to grow that there. We're going to grow maimayakom. Maimayakom is a plant that we used to use to cure, at least to stop the effects of malaria. It's quite bitter, but you add a little bit of honey in it, and it helps bring down the fever, which is always attributed to malaria, and many other sorts of things, and fruits that are helpful for hypertension and all that sort of thing. So we're trying to sort of regroup, if you will, and just bring all the different kinds of medicinal leaves and fruit and what have you that's part of our African heritage, and grow them and teach people how to use them for their own well-being. And of course, we're going to have our own gardens, and where the food that you eat at the chalets are going to be fresh food grown on grounds. And we have such a large land, so that we're going to actually have enough space to grow cassava, to grow yams, to grow potatoes, to grow papaya, bananas, you name it, whatever. And we're going to introduce some of those foods that the African American community enjoys, like turnips, colored greens, and all that sort of thing. So that's quite exciting, and we call it our own Wakanda. It's going to be absolutely magnificent. All of the designs are just breathtaking, and the exciting thing is that the designer is a woman. Her father is African American. Her father is Nigerian, and her mother is African American. So you talk about bridging the gap and bringing and using our own people to construct such a thing. It's part of the exciting thing, built by us, for us, and built by us. That's very, very important, and that's not that's not to say that nobody else has the same skills, but I think that there's something that people say, arasama marasa ulapwezi. That means that beauty and good deeds start from within the home. So we have to take our own people and have them do for us, build such things, because the skill sets are there, and certainly that's the way to promote our own people. And when people come to the Igbo landing, the Walota village, they know that it was done by African people. And I promise you, it's going to be something spectacular. Last but not least, we have our website. On our website, you can go and read about the Walota project or pilgrimage. And it's usually August, from August the 16th through the 31st of every year. It's going to be every year. So we are always looking for support. We're always encouraging African sisters and brothers to be involved in this and make your donation. What we're doing the buy a brick. Your name will be reflected on the walls of the village, to show who supported the building of that of the village. So I ask you to please go to our website, and that's aweconline.org. aweconline.org. Read a little bit more about AWEC, read a little bit more about the One Lota project, and see how you can be a part of it, because we want you to be a part of it. We don't want to exclude anyone, because it's such an exciting thing, such an exciting project. We want as many brothers and sisters right here in the United States to be a part of this wonderful, wonderful project. So on that note, I am going to look forward to taking some questions and during the course of my presentation this upcoming few days. Thank you for joining me for the moment, and I look forward to our discussion. Thank you. Good day.